Another Goo! That's right, I forgot this is why they picked mincemeat.
Imagine in the year 2022, in the game Splatoon 3, having a counter pick that is predicated on being able to pick Goo Tuber.
It's not even the same guy playing it. The guy who played it the first time is playing Junior in this game. They have two tuber pickers. So the team is just fucking Giga Chat. Look, there he is right there. That's him. That's him. That's the fucking tuber picker from the first game.
So how about this? You try to escape it, and you did get one player off of it, but another player switching to it. This is how they value their missiles currently in Splatoon 3.
Yeah, this will do. So today we're going to talk about the insane Goo Tubers we saw being played, some fast comps made to deal with machines, and of course, the dreaded, overpowered regular sloshing machine. If you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe for more tournament analysis, including covering the big house where I will bust out my own Goo Tuber. Now, let's start with the main one here, the Goo Tubers. We saw two of these, so why are they being played? Well, if you don't know, Goo Tuber has an insane 5-second charge hold, and it can also go in and out of that charge fast, and even recharge it mid-charge while you use that charge hold. All of these are the defining traits of the weapon, which is exactly not the reason they were used. Nobody cares about any of this. Duh, it has 10 to missiles, guys. Oh, come on. You didn't see this coming? The missile spam? Oh god. I've done a video on Missile's terrible design before, but I know a good amount of people who are newer to competitive Splatoon might not really understand it, and the special might not seem that good because it doesn't kill people and you can dodge them. In competitive Splatoon, especially with the wonderfully well-designed maps we have in this game, getting in as a coordinated team and moving another coordinated team out of the way is really difficult. You have to find where the players are and dedicate resources to moving them out of the way to get yourselves in and use some of your other specials. Missiles kinda does all of it. You get all the locations for free that you can call out to your teammates, and you can move all of them from a global range across the map with pretty much no vulnerability. Because of this, missile spam was really common in Splatoon 2, and well, even with Splatoon 3's more powerful specials, has proved to be still an incredibly valuable option. So even the weirder weapons with it, being the Goo Tuber, Light Bow, and the Flingza Roller, have all seen use in competitive play. But why pick the Goo Tuber in particular? Well, the Flingza Roller paints the farthest away to get the special and has mine to help defend itself and keep it alive, and Reflux has the best output, but the Goo Tuber has something neither of them does, a bomb. Being able to actually poke with a sub-weapon to find where people are is pretty useful. It can paint to help charge your missile and gives you something to do while you're being more passive compared to the other missile weapons. On top of that, Goo Tuber tap shots actually go pretty far and are the real extreme trait of the main weapon. These allow you to paint at a distance similar to Flingza, and even though it's not as far, you're much less laggy while doing it, meaning it's harder for you to get caught. This is actually why the first Goo Tuber pick was on mincemeat. The tap shots are able to perfectly cover the zone, which is something that gets spammed by double fizzy bomb quite frequently, giving them easy missiles without exposing themselves, while the torpedo can be used to poke higher ground weapons and sharkers who might look to push them. The second game was Undertow Spillway, which only has one route directly through mid, meaning missiles are especially good on that map and basically free to force your team forward, which is really difficult with the lack of other routes. Now listen, was Goo Tuber primarily picked for paint, missile, and bomb spam, not anything to do with the main weapon, and is especially being played because of bad maps and a lack of viable entrance routes? Yes. Is it funny though? Yes, this was their counter pick. I don't even know why two players picked it in particular. Tuber sweep! Anyway, I hope this special gets reworked one day, but let's talk about the other main comp that people are complaining about. The dreaded sloshing machine. And we did see a lot of these in this tournament, with the winning team running two of them in most of their comps. So is this unbeatable, or does it have flaws? Sloshing machine has a lot of good traits. It has a good area of effect, which means it can put nice distance pressure, the range is pretty solid, and it has good entry tools, with the fizzy bomb allowing you to paint at a distance, and the booyah bomb allowing you to displace threats or keep yourself alive, which also gives it good survivability. This is one of the most well-rounded weapons and kits in the game, and it has a tool to thrive in pretty much every situation, which is definitely a part of why it's good. Machine does also have some weaknesses though. The main weapon isn't really that fast. Its kill time is also pretty slow, honestly. Stuff like shooters and dualies can kill it faster if they get close enough. The weapon does have pretty low uptime, paint, and special output because its ink efficiency is high and Fizzy Bomb is a little bit committal, which means the weapon is stuck in a slower playstyle. Now, notice how there was a bit of an asterisk in front of the uptime, pains, and special output, because, well, there's a certain ability in the game, the most common one by far, that basically mitigates those three weaknesses almost completely. Last Ditch Effort. This ability gives you 8 subs worth of Ink Saver main, Ink Saver sub, and Ink Recovery up at 30 points or lower, or during the last 30 seconds of the game and overtime. In addition to that, this ability will start applying slowly at 50 points or lower. Basically, this ability applies whenever you're losing, which, you know, if you're not losing, you won't really need it anyway, and it gives you more abilities than an entire gear set. All for one main ability. Yeah, it's pretty good. In particular for Machine, this means its ink efficiency weakness is out the window. Fizzy Bomb can now throw 2 of them, which means its paint is crazy, meaning its uptime is higher, and its special output is higher. That, combined with the maps, which, like I mentioned before, make it hard to approach from multiple angles, meaning the AoE for Machine is much more difficult to deal with. Basically, Machine is pretty overwhelming, but it takes advantage of a lot of the factors of the game to be good, rather than the main weapon being anything insane or overtuned. This is also the first time we've experienced fighting Machine with a good kit, as before it either had a lackluster sub, special, or both. Right now, with the limited kit options, I don't think we're going to see too much to counter Machine, as the comms to deal with it have to be very fast, though we will touch on those soon. At the moment though, it can fill pretty much any role in the comp, and is great for doing whatever it needs, which means it slots in very easily and can be very common. Rather than nerfing the main weapon, I think a better response is to fix the maps, and arguably even more importantly, fix Last Ditch Effort, which should reduce how strong the weapon is at a fair degree. It also has an AoE bug where it can hit people through objects, which of course should absolutely be fixed, as it makes it harder to deal with it with specials like Crab and Vacuum, and, you know, the floor just doesn't work. The teams using it both in Japan and a little bit in the West, with teams like Starburst occasionally running Double Machine, don't really do anything too special with it. They just play it depending on the situation, abusing corners and area of effect, using Fizzy to charge Booyah, and Booyah to get their team in. So from here on out, I want to talk about the 2 teams that did do a solid job against Machine, and the ideas they had in terms of comms to counter it. The 2 weaknesses of Machine that are not mitigated by LDE is mobility and kill time. If you can get close to it, the Machine can at best trade with you, which is really difficult, and it can't rotate around the map as fast as other weapons. What we've seen is 2 options to deal with it. A quick respawn comp, in this case using the Range Blaster, Splattershot Jr., and the Tetra Dualies, and then we've also seen the classic triple shooter comp, in this case running the N-Zap, the Splash, and the Splattershot. Unfortunately, these 2 teams happen to play each other in their top 8 match due to the bracket spot, but I have seen them play against other teams in Japan who do Double Machine, and I myself have tried out a similar double Tetra Jr. comp against Double Machine. So if we're talking about that team, I'll be using my own background footage. The quick respawn comp is typically composed around a junior, but also features 2 weapons that can dive and kill quickly, like the Tetris and Ink Brush, and a ranged weapon, either something like the E-Liter, heavy or hydro spelling, or a missile spamming weapon. The goal of this comp is to simply play really fast and force more fights and positions than the machines can deal with due to their slower playstyle. The junior is absolutely essential in this comp, as its ability to deploy a lot of big bubbles allows it to maintain space more aggressively to burn resources and give jumps back to teammates so they can play around their quick respawn to force multiple team fights quickly. The ranged weapon or missile could be nice for helping the comp get in and for playing certain angles to force the enemies into less favorable positions. This comp tends to excel on maps where you can push further ahead, such as Museum, where they can be forced to burn their Booyah Bombs to get back their own plat, but can struggle in maps where it's harder to move forward, like Eel Tail. I would say this strategy is most similar to a team called New Meta in the Western scene that played at the end of Splatoon 2's lifespan, running Tetra and Ink Brush with a ballpoint in this case, where the beacons could get them back in quickly, except you're fighting a much different style of comp. Rather than the more well-rounded quad shooter comp, this is a battle to get map control and hold it to burn enemy resources from the machine so you can play more favorable team fights, and it's played much differently than you did in Splatoon 2, but time will have to tell to see if this could work out. As for the triple shooter comp, even without the quick respawn, it's a similar idea. Fast weapons that can outduel the machine if they get close enough and hold map control due to the charger in their comp being able to wall out the machines. Though personally, I think their comp could have been improved. While I can see why they picked the Tacticooler to really push the advantage state, I think the shooters do a really good job getting in and moving forward anyway, and something like a 52 that could have abused more survivability to force the machines to burn even more resources on the advantage would have been a bit better for this comp. They also ran a Carbon for quite a few games, which while it got a lot of impressive plays, didn't really allow them to play to the advantage as much as they could have before, since Carbon doesn't require as many resources to move out of the way or deal with its special. And when locked out of map control, Carbon can't really take the same advantages that shooters can, since they can quickly paint and control an area while a Carbon would need help. While these comps can work, I feel like like they're gonna take more time to actually get good at than recently. Will we see one of these comps in the West or Japan get results over Machine before it gets nerfed? Hard to say, but I think there's definitely a lot of potential there, and from my own experience trying out Double Tetra a little bit, I definitely can see it working. So that's what happened in Area Cup. For now, Double Machine reigns supreme, but it doesn't look as dominant as what we've dealt with in Splatoon 2, and patches will quickly deal with it. It's cool to see some alternate options, and even if Goo Tuber is a missile spam, it's funny that this weapon finally got some form of time in the sun. So I hope you guys enjoyed and are looking forward to even more analysis with the Big House. I'll see you guys later.